Hello friends, it is Danny. Welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be reviewing Here So Far Away by Hadley Dyer. I was given a copy of this book in December by HarperCollins in exchange for an honest review. This book just came out on the 20th and I recently just finished it, so I thought why not film a review and talk about it outside of also talking about it in my reading wrap-up, which will be coming soon. Here So Far Away follows a character named George or Frances. She doesn't really go by Frances, but she goes by her middle name, which is George. She is in her senior year of high school, set in like the early 90s. And in the beginning of her senior year, it seemed like there was a lot of potential for good things to happen. Partying with her friends and putting the juniors and younger classmates in their place, while also waiting for acceptance letters from college to get as far away from her small town as she possibly can. But instead of all of these good things happening, she ends up getting into a giant fight with her best friend, which basically puts a giant rip right down the middle of her group of friends. And no big dreams about going away to college is going to repair that. But her family has also fallen on hard times because her father has been injured at work. They don't know if he's going to be able to return to work. So then she meets Francis. Yes, a boy with the same name as her, technically. And he just happens to be older. He also happens to be a cop who is kind of taking over her dad's job right now. And they get along really well. They like to banter back and forth sarcastically. And it's a problem because she is underage and he is older. And they like each other, but they're not supposed to like each other. Because of this age difference, she doesn't tell anybody that she's like falling in love with this guy. And because of this, she ends up losing almost everything, including herself in the process, and she basically has to find a way to gain all of that back. So I started this book and was immediately drawn in. I don't know what it was that drew me in so quickly, whether it was the fact that she lives in Canada, the fact that it was the 90s, the fact that George was a really relatable main character as a senior in high school. She's doing all the things that a senior would do. She's partying, she's got issues with her friends, she's worried about college and trying to figure out how to get accepted to colleges and trying to get away from her small town, family issues, and she's also struggling with a relationship with the boy, who happens to be a lot older, but that's besides the point. Maybe it's just because it's a contemporary book, and you know I'm a sucker for contemporary books. Besides that, there was just something about this book that made me feel good going into it. It just had that almost like calming, like drawing you in sort of effect. Not much had really happened. It was just introducing you to all of the characters and the beginning issues that George was starting to face. Even though there really wasn't much happening, I was still really happy and enjoying what I was reading and almost didn't want it to end. And it was just beginning. Left such a good impression on me that I was up all night reading it and did not want to go to sleep to go to work the next day. That's always a good sign. I really enjoyed the characters that she interacted with. There is Francis, which is the older guy that she is kind of falling in love with. There is Rupert, which is this old man who has a farm that she is helping taking care of. And there's the pig that he owns that is not really like an outdoor pig, it's more like a pet pig. Her family's pretty cool as well. Her dad is a little meh, and her mom, once you grow to understand her, is pretty likable. And her brother is like a compulsive fainter. As for her friends, I'm not really a fan of them other than Bill. Bill was pretty cool. He was good. I liked him. I don't feel like a lot really happened until like over halfway. It was just kind of her dealing with having that fight with her friend to the point where like they were not talking at all and not even remotely considering each other friends, while also dealing with the issues that she was having at home with her family because of her father's injuries. But it progressed like well enough that it held my interest. And then we got towards the end and that's where things kind of went a little haywire and made me kind of confused. I feel like when I got to the main part of the ending, I was confused. I didn't see it coming at all. I didn't want it to come, but it did. I don't want to give spoilers, but like the ending just kind of left me with a giant question mark right here, just like giant question mark, you know? I feel like the ending was just enough to make you feel like, yes, this is a good enough ending. I am content with this ending. Where it did end left me kind of at peace, which is very rare for a book to do for me, so it was good. The only issue I did have was that big question mark towards like the third quarter of the book, where I was just like, what just happened, and why did it happen, and why, what? I don't want to give spoilers, so it's hard to explain why I felt that way, but I will say that I did really enjoy this book. Everything about this book, the characters, the setting, everything, it just made me smile and happy and content, and almost like, it was almost like a part of me. I don't know why I felt that way, but that's a good thing that I felt like I could relate to this book in a way. I did really enjoy it. That is why I gave it 3.5 stars. Those 1.5 stars that I did take off is only because of that big question mark towards the ending, and that's just me kind of trying to figure out how to work through and process what happened. I highly recommend, if you're looking for a contemporary similar to All the Bright Places, then I highly suggest this, because they give me the same sort of vibe. Thank you so much to Harper for sending me a copy of this book. I really enjoyed it. I have a couple more arcs from Harper that I need to be reading very soon in the near future to be talking about in reading wrap-ups, but also giving reviews for, because they're coming out like in May-ish. And down below if you've read this book or if you plan on reading this book, and let's start a discussion about it, because I definitely want to talk with people about this book, but let's try to keep the comment section spoiler free. I don't know what my next video is going to be, but whatever it is, I will see you guys in that one.